What's up, everybody? Welcome into A to Z Sports Picks. Brad and I are going to have a great show for you this Friday. Get you all set up for the betting weekend. Brian, my man, looking sharp as always.
What's up, buddy? My season-long slump in college ended last week, and I continued to do well in NFL, and now I'm off to a 10-2 start in the NBA. So finally, I'm getting a little something going. It had been a rough year, but
Attaboy, attaboy. Look, I'll tell you what, dude, NBA's tough right now, man. Like sports, anytime that they start leagues, difficult, man. Well done on that. All right, everybody, welcome in A to Z Sports Picks. I'm Alan Bell, CBS Sportsline, alongside Brian Edwards of VegasInsider.com. A to Z Sports Picks brought to you every Friday by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM. Use promo code A to Z Sports to get a risk-free bet of up to $1,000 on pro football. That's right, $1,000. Use promo code A to Z Sports. That's BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older. Must be present in the state of Tennessee. For gambling problem support, call the Tennessee Red Line at 800-889-9789. All right, Brian, we got a ton to get to. Let's jump right into it. All right. First thing, we've got the Titans on the road at the Texans. 2.5-point favorite. It's moving to 2.5. We've seen a lot of movement there. Questions with Ryan Tannehill in regards to if he's going to go. He's questionable right now, which Mike Vrabel just mentioned about 30 minutes ago with an ankle injury. So I give it to you, man. You won the coin toss. You want to go first? You want me?
I'll go first. But I didn't know about Tannehill. That's news to me. But I still roll with it.
Yeah. Like, I have no idea. Like, what Vrabel said, I'm going with it. I assume that Ryan Tannehill is going to play. I mean, he generally does, but who knows? I don't know. So
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with it anyway. I've got the Titans. I got it on the money line at minus 120 earlier in the week. But, as long as Tannehill goes, I like it. I might even like it with Malik Willis. But anyhow, minus 3 or less. I like the Titans. And look, it hasn't been pretty, but they've been covering. They've won 4 in a row. Derrick Henry, rushing yards, 85, 114, 102, and 128 in the last 4 games. And Houston is dead last in the NFL in run defense and number 31 in total defense. And rookie running back Dameon Pierce has injected a little bit of life into the Houston offense. But the Titans are 4th in the NFL in run defense, and the Texans are scoring at a pedestrian 17.7 points per game clip, ranking 28th in the NFL. I like the Titans.
yeah, I'll tell you what, Malik Willis. I actually think that if there were any game this season, let's just play this hypothetical. All right, I was just talking about this on Twitter. Let's just assume Tannehill's not playing. All right, just for this scenario right here, I actually think that this could probably be the best spot for Malik Willis all season long. Like you just said, the Texans' run defense, horrible. You're going to get so much of Derrick Henry. If Malik Willis starts, like you get news of it, just bet everything Derrick Henry that you can because he's going to get every opportunity imaginable. But Malik Willis could actually fit in well here. I think that, and I like it on the road. There's pressure built in when you play at home. It's not like the Texans stadium is that noisy, right? Like I actually would like it, for a young quarterback there. I'm going to play the over 40.5. It's a very low total here. I think that the Texans could have some success offensively against Tennessee's defense. Not a ton, but enough. And I think the Titans can probably, if Derrick Henry's going off, good luck because it opens up everything else. Is the key to their offense. I'll play the over. I don't hate it. BetMGM, in fact, it just moved to 3. Titans minus 3. So still right there at that field goal number. But yeah, I like the over 40.5. Again, Malik Willis, if he has Derrick Henry going, it's going to make the game script easier for him. Going to open up some passing, open up him running. Yeah, I kind of like it, man. Like, I agree with you. Any further thoughts?
Just Titans for me, man. That's it.
I like it, man. I like it. All right. I'll tell you what also that I like. And Brian, I think that you like it too. Omaha Steaks, my man. Look.
Yes, sir.
Dude, from tailgate parties to busy weeknights, the flavor experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to savor all the flavors of fall with their mouth-watering assortments of perfectly aged steaks, ultra juicy burgers, and easy to prepare comfort meals that are ready in a flash. Right now, take advantage of 50% off site-wide by shopping their semi-annual sale. The sale only happens twice a year and it's on now. with 50% off delicious customer favorites. And when you use promo code A to Z, that's ATOZ at checkout, take an additional $30 off of your order. So don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com, enter A to Z at checkout, and stock up on fall flavor today. Omaha Steaks, perfect for those chilly and busy fall nights with entrees ready before the kids can even say, Brian, what's for dinner? And don't forget to use promo code A to Z at checkout to score an extra $30 off of your order. Omaha Steaks isn't just steak. It's the best steak of your life. And I can agree on that one. It definitely is, man. They're good. Now, speaking of also what is good as well, we have a full slate of the NFL. Week 8, I want to dive into it. What are your best bets, man? What are you seeing? What do you like? And is there anything that you're leaning towards as well?
Okay, so I'm going to go, and I've had this a couple of times in their last few games. The Eagles team total in the first half over 13.5. All right, the reason why they've scored this many points by halftime this year: 24, 24 again, 24 a third time, 20, 14, and 20. So 5 times they've had 20 points at halftime. Every time they've had at least 14. All we need to do is get to 14. Pittsburgh's defense ranks 28th in the NFL in total defense. On that same note, for all that same reasoning, we're going to go with the Eagles -6.5 in the first half. At halftime, they've had the following leads by 10, by 17, by 24, by 17. Now, they did have 2 that wouldn't be covers at 6.5. They were up by 6 one game and by 4 another game. But 4 out of 6 is not bad. And I don't want to lay double digits in this spot, but I do want to bet on Philadelphia and their offense. I think it's the best way to target it. -6.5 in the first half, -13.5 for the game. And one more on this game. Let's go A.J. Brown over 66.5 receiving yards in the first 6 games. He's had 155, 69, 85, 95, 67, and 32. So 5 out of 6 games, he's gotten to at least 67. So A.J. Brown over 66.5 receiving yards prop. Let's also go with Minnesota.
Can I pause you right there? Not to interrupt.
Yeah.
I want to hit on one thing. What you're talking about with the Eagles in the first half of games this season, you're spot on. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to dive one step deeper. All right. So the second highest scoring team in the second quarter of games this season is the Baltimore Ravens. 68 points they've scored in the second quarter of games this year. And they've played 8 games. All right, so they played one further game than the Eagles.
How many's Philly got? 100?
112 in the second quarter. They have doubled up, and the Ravens have played an entire full more game. So just everyone out there to understand that the Eagles in the second quarter have been insane. Look it up. It's crazy. All right, continue. I just wanted to drop that in there.
No, I like that.
Because I'm playing the same thing.
I like it. So I'm going to go Minnesota -3.5 at last look, but I would be okay with it at 4. Let's see. Where are we, Minnesota? No, it looks like it's -3.5 everywhere, including our friends at BetMGM. So, look, it hasn't been pretty. They're only 2-4 against the spread, but they are 5-1 straight up. And this is a small line. A lot of those non-covers were bigger spreads. Dalvin Cook is not putting up, Derrick Henry numbers, but 4 games in a row where he's got 96, 76, 94, and 77. And with Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins in the passing game, along with just some pretty solid running from Dalvin Cook. That's good stuff. Arizona has been better on the road than at home, but Minnesota's had 2 weeks to prepare. I know Arizona's had a couple extra days. They played last Thursday. And then there you go. So Minnesota, that's all I've got now. I did do the Bengals -3, but that was before I knew about Jamar Chase. So I don't want to encourage our listeners on that just because I still lean the Bengals, but with Chase out, that makes it not as,
Yeah, that changes their team drastically.
Sure.
And I'll go ahead. So that's one of the plays that I have. Give me the Browns +3. I think the Browns win this game outright. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Again, it's nothing against the Bengals. I think it's just a weird matchup for them. The Browns, when you have, an in-state type of game, right? It almost has a college feel to it. I'll go with the Browns +3. The next one. Give me the Bills -11 against the Packers. Give it to me. The Packers offense, Aaron Rodgers has more completed passes this season that are behind the line of scrimmage than anywhere else. Like their offense is legitimately
Wow.
5 yards and in. He's not
Wow.
hitting anything beyond 20 yards. Like it's funny how similar the Bucks and the Packers offense looks. It's almost identical. Buffalo, what are they coming off of a bye at home? I'll take them. I know 11 is a lot of points. I'll take Buffalo there. Also, like I mentioned, also playing the Eagles first half with you on that one. Yeah, yeah, like Eagles coming off of a bye as well. Feel great about that. Playing the Commanders +3 on the road against the Indianapolis Colts. Look, usually when teams like move to their backup quarterback, a lot of times there's kind of a good feel in the locker room, so to say. Like I don't know. There's locker rooms kind of feel the same way that fan bases do about backup quarterbacks, right? Like you kind of get a little bit of a jolt. What we were just talking about with the Titans, right? Like, in it's completely different situations, like Tannehill being injured. We're not saying anything negative on that. However, I don't think that this is good at all. Like, I do not trust Sam Ellinger. I do not trust him in the NFL. I do not trust him against that Commanders defensive front. Not that I trust Taylor Heineke all that much, but he has played. Like, he gets it. And that locker room, that team does, like, they like him. He was obviously their starter last year. I'll take the Commanders +3 on that one. We talked about Tennessee and Houston. I like the over on that. I like the Raiders -1.5 on the road against the Saints. Saints just ruled out Jarvis Landry and Michael Thomas. No huge surprises on that. But, yeah, man, I think the Raiders are getting better. I don't think that they're certainly not a great team, but I think that I trust them more consistently than I do with New Orleans. Lastly, Jaguars, London. Give me the Jags, dude. -2.5, playing against the Denver Broncos. Not that I love the Jaguars, but I kind of dig how Doug Peterson's going about this. Like it has what Doug. If anybody hasn't watched the Jaguars this year, if you watched Florida and Tennessee, the way that Billy Napier coached in terms of we're going for it, fourth downs, like we're pushing the limit, backs against the wall. That's how the Jaguars play. Now, they fall apart in the second half of games because they just don't have the horses, right? Like, I mean, they just don't have it yet. But I don't trust Denver. Like, I don't trust them at all. So I'll take the Jaguars.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Would you, because you're going against Denver, would you rather Russell Wilson play or not? Because it's a fair question, right?
Yeah, it's a great question. Dude, I'll take the backup on this one, but I don't have faith like in Russ like at all.
You're not gonna be like, oh no, Russell's starting now.
No, hell no. I don't think that team likes him at all. Like
Who
that
likes
story
that
of
guy?
him working out for 4 hours on the plane on an 8-hour flight when people are trying to sleep is
Yeah,
the
that
most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Like you're doing knee highs in the aisle. Like give it a rest. This isn't high school.
What a dork.
You know what I mean? He is. Like I backed him and backed him and backed him. He's a weird dude. He's trying to be something that he's not.
And now that he's not even good at quarterback, his weirdness is now becoming the story.
100%. It all comes out, dude. Like he's a weird dude, man. I think he's trying to be something that he's not. And I'll stop there. I don't want to get in personal things.
Sure.
Because I don't know the man, but
sure.
Yeah, but it's weird with him, dude. Very weird. All right, let's move over to college football. Okay, so we're gonna start. We got Kentucky at Tennessee, and then we're gonna go Florida and Georgia. Tennessee, 12-point favorite at home. All right, throw it over to you. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, so I gave the total a lot of thought, right? Especially when it went less than 63, which is a key number. It was 63.5 early in the week, and now it's 61 at most books. So Tennessee's combined scores this year: 89, 101, 71, 69, 69, and 61, which would be a push this week. They did have the 53 against LSU, but Tennessee was up 37-7 at the end of the third quarter. They're just trying to run the clock out there. So I think you can just throw that result out, really. So But then I look at all of Kentucky's scores, and they don't have any that have gotten anywhere close to 61. So I lean over just because it's a Vols game, but I don't know that I'm going to end up taking it. I would have liked to have gotten Kentucky at plus 14, but it's now at 12, so I feel like I missed the boat. If there would be line movement and I could get Kentucky at 14, that I would have a small opinion on that. But I'm not in any rush to go against Hendon Hooker by any means. But I do think Kentucky, even if Tennessee covers, I think it's going to be up 10, get a touchdown in the last 4 or 5 minutes. I think it's going to be a close game, but Tennessee can still cover because they're so explosive offensively. So I would say slight lean over. If it got to 13.5 or 14, slight lean Kentucky, but nothing major for me on this.
Yeah. So I'll say this. This is an interesting matchup. All right. You've got the fastest team in the SEC against the slowest team in the SEC. Pretty good understanding that this might be the most aggressive start to a game that Josh Heupel has had this season for this reason alone. What you said, I don't think Kentucky can play Tennessee's game. If Tennessee comes out and just immediately steps on their throat, scores, keeps them down, it could be a blowout. Like, it could be bad. Now, if they don't, like, Kentucky historically has given Tennessee better games than almost anybody else. Like, their general, look at last year, 45-42. Tennessee only had the ball for 14 minutes in that game. They scored 45 points, right? The way to bet the game, the way to bet the game fast, dude. Like, last year was insane fast. This year, obviously, it's still fast, but last year was like it was like methamphetamine. Like, it was just insanity. Here's how to bet it. I'll tell you exactly how to bet this game. Take Tennessee in the first quarter, minus 3.5. Take Tennessee in the first half, minus 7. All right. That's
I'm not against that. I'm not against either one of those.
I believe that Tennessee is going to do everything that they can to score as fast as humanly possible to take Kentucky out of this game. Like, because that's the blueprint. Not only for that's just how Tennessee plays, but especially in this game. Because if Kentucky is running the football because that's their offense, like, I get Levis could throw, but he's still coming off injury. It's just not the same Kentucky team as it was beginning of the year. It actually helps Tennessee in that favor. So, yeah, take Tennessee, first quarter, first half. A stat for you real quick. Tennessee is outscoring opponents 96-24 in the first quarter of games this year.
Wow. I got another. Sorry,
go
ahead.
No, I was just going to say it's insanity. That's all I got.
Vols are 23-7 against the spread against Kentucky since '92, but I didn't realize Kentucky had 612 yards against Tennessee last year. Tennessee had 461, but Tennessee had 75-yard touchdown, a 72-yard, and a pick six.
Yep. Yeah, it was a weird game.
I think I like Vols minus 7 in the first half, like you said. I agree on that.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go about it. All right. Anything else you have? College football.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the Gators plus 22.5. According to my old pal Mark Lawrence's database that goes back to 1980, UGA has only been favored over Florida by double digits 3 times. The biggest spread was 14. And that was last year, and they did cover that. But that was a 3-0 game with less than 3 minutes left in the first half. And then Florida committed 3 turnovers in like a 5-6 play sequence deep in its own territory. It was like a pick six. It was a fumble that gave them like first and goal. And so it went from 3-zip to 24-zip, and it was over by halftime. So Florida actually ended up out-yarding them, but lost by 27. But Georgia, since 1989, has only beaten Florida by more than 22 twice. Last year, and then the day that McElwain got fired, and it was widely reported like 8 hours before kickoff that he was going to be fired. And in the last 61 games, not Florida, Georgia, just Florida's last 61 games, they've only been beaten by more than 22 3 times. And one of those was Oklahoma when like 18 guys sat out in that Cotton Bowl game. So, and then the last thing, Billy Napier as an underdog, as a head coach, 18 times. 14-3-1 against the spread with 9 outright wins. I like the Gators getting more than 3 touchdowns. I also like Arkansas minus 3.5 at Auburn, 11 a.m. Local kick time, late arriving crowd. I think Auburn needs good things to happen early, or they may mail it in. Now they have won 6 in a row over the Hogs, but we remember 2 years ago the Hogs got robbed by the refs. Bo Nix fumbled that snap when he was trying to spike it, but they blew the whistle and said they couldn't reverse it, and they got to kick a game-winning field goal in the last play. It was total nonsense. But Rocket Sanders, 175 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns on 15 attempts at BYU, and he leads the SEC in rushing. I think he runs all over Auburn. So Arkansas, Florida, and here's my favorite, Missouri, South Carolina over 45.5. South Carolina, 6 of their 7 games have had 49 or more. They've had 54, 60, 76, 55, 74, and 49. The only one less than 49 was against Kentucky when Levis was out and they had to start a quarterback who'd never taken a career snap. Now the under's on a 6-0 run for Missouri. However, this is Missouri's lowest total of the season, and 4 of their 7 games have had 48 combined or more. And last one, Eastern Michigan +7. Toledo's star quarterback might be out, and Eastern Michigan is 34-11-1 against the spread. Its last 46 as an underdog going back to the 2015 regular season finale. It's Maction, and it is on ESPNU at noon Eastern. That's it for me.
There we go, man. There we go. All right. So I kind of feel you on the Florida thing. I'm taking the under in the game. I think that you're going to see pounding the football, running the football in multiple different game scripts. But yeah, I'm with you on that. Give me the under there. And then the only other college football play that I have, Wake Forest minus 3.5.
I kind of like that one too.
Yeah. I think that if you're ever going to see Dave Clawson and Wake Forest try to run a score up, it's going to be this one. All right. Final segment here. All right. The World Series, game 1 tonight. Phillies at the Astros. Astros, your money line favorites here. Any thoughts that you have? I know you don't bet a lot of baseball. Just any thoughts in general of the World Series?
I have none, but let me throw out a couple of NBAs since I'm off to a 10-2 start. I'm going to go Minnesota -7 tonight to the Lakers, who are 0-4 both straight up and against the spread this year. Just fade the Lakers until they cover. And Anthony Davis is questionable. And even better, Russell Westbrook has been upgraded to probable. I like that. They've lost both their road games by double digits. I'm going to go Wizards -5 to the Pacers. The Pacers are 0-2 both straight up and against the spread on the road, losing by 15 and by 14. Washington undefeated at home. And let's go Charlotte, Orlando over 220. The over's 4-0 for Charlotte. Combined scores of 231, 236, 235, and 265. But this is their lowest total of the year. They lead the NBA in scoring and 3-point percentage. So Charlotte, Orlando over 220, Wizards -5, and T-Wolves -7.
I love it, man. I love it. All right. So, World Series game 1. This is how you bet it. Both teams to score 2 or more runs, -150. Yes, I get it. It's juicy. However, you are looking at the 2 most explosive offenses in Major League Baseball. These guys are electric factories. Like, they have big innings. Like, the Astros are the best team in baseball. They consistently score 4 to 5 runs every single night. They just do it. Like,
so now, if one of them ends up on 2, is that a push, or do they both have to get to 3?
It's a win. It's a win. Nope.
They have to get 2 or more.
Yep. Just have to get 2 or more. Yeah, -150. Now, you got a great pitching matchup. Justin Verlander against Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola has been insane. All right, insane this postseason. That being said, Justin Verlander, he's never won a World Series game. Isn't that weird? Never.
That is.
For as crazy good as he's been. I think that you're going to see some nerves early. I wouldn't be surprised to see a run or 2 early in the game, and then both guys kind of settle in. But yeah, bet 2. Now, I'm going to give you a quick stat on betting it, and then we're going to get out of here. So this season in Major League Baseball, all right, 39% of all runs scored came by home runs. All right, this is a home run league. College baseball is the same way. In the postseason, 46% of all runs scored have been home runs. So pay attention to that, that is going to give you kind of an accurate read. And look, I'm not betting the game in terms of picking one or the other. I think Philly might win this one. And if Philly wins tonight, look the hell out. Like there's just something in the water in Philly. Like the Astros are the best team in baseball. And
Eagles are undefeated.
Dude, yeah. The Astros haven't lost a game in the postseason. They haven't lost one. They have only lost one game in the month of October total. It's crazy.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
I mean, the Astros are the best team. So I am not saying anything negative on them. But the Phillies, there's just something with them right now. Like if their hitting comes tonight, just look the hell out. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. Yeah, Brian, go ahead.
Last thing for me, DraftKings look ahead lines: Alabama minus 12.5 at LSU, and Georgia minus 11.5 to Tennessee.
Nice. Okay. 11.5. Interesting. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. ADC Sports Picks will be live next Friday, same time, 3:30 Eastern, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. I can't speak. But until then, everybody, best of luck. Let's cash these tickets. We'll see you next week. Thanks.
Good luck, everybody.